Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 2. Yasyam vasishayanasya
Yashyambhasi yashnasya
Yashanasya
yoga nidram vitanvataha
yoga
Yoga Nidram Vitanvata
nabhi hridam bhujad asid
Nabhiridam
asi
Bhujadashit
Brahma Vishwasrijam Patihe.
Brahma
Brahma
Vishwasrijam
Vishwasritam
Pati.
Pati. So Neha, you will read?
You can read, please, Ratna ji. You can read.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Translation. A part of the Parshua lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower's top this stem. Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest. Purport. The first Purusha is the Karano-Dakshaya Vishnu. Karano-Dakshaya Vishnu. From his skin holes, innumerable universes have sprung up. In each and every universe, the Purusha enters at the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He is lying within the half of the universe, which is full with the water of his body, and from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu has sprung the stem of lotus flower, the birthplace of Brahma, who is the father of all living beings and the master of all the demigod, ingenious, engaged in the perfect design and working of the universal order. Within the stem of lotus, there are 14 divisions of planetary system, and the earthly planets are situated in the middle. Upwards, there are other, better planetary systems, and topmost system is called Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Downwards from the earthly planetary system, there are 7 lower planetary systems inhabited by the Asuras and the similar other materialistic living beings.
So Sutta Goswami is explaining about the Purusha and how the material world is created. So Karana Dakshaya Vishnu, he is called the first Purusha. From his pores of the body, we heard all the universes were coming out. Now it's same Karana Dakshaya Vishnu, he expands and he enters every universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he fills half the universe with water coming from his body, his own perspiration. Half of it he fills it. He lies down on this ocean on his snake bed, and from this Vishnu, from his navel, comes a lotus flower. And Lord Brahma, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma sits on this lotus flower. So Lord Brahma, he is the secondary creator. We are trying to understand now how the first creation is happening by Krishna. Krishna is expanding as Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu has created Brahma. And then Brahma will decide which planet is going to go where, which soul is going to get which kind of body, which planet, like that. He has to do the designing. So inside this lotus stem, all the planetary systems are there. They said 14 planetary systems, out of which the earthly planets, they are the middle. Above the earth, there are 7 higher planetary systems, like Swarglok, Tapalok, Janalok, Mahalok, like that. And Brahmalok is the highest. That's the abode of Lord Brahma, where Lord Brahma stays. Also is still in the material world. And below the earthly planetary system are the hellish planets, the lower planets. So they are 7 down. The earth is in the middle, and then up is 6 more. So like that, total 14. Okay.
From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, there is expansion of the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma of all living beings. He is called Hari, and from him all incarnations within the universe are expanded.
So this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he expands now. And he's entering into every atom of the universe as Paramatma and into our hearts, heart of every living entity. He's called Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. This is the Vishnu who's there, who's maintaining the universe. Any problem Lord Brahma have, any demigods have, they're going to this Vishnu. Any problem, then they tell him, oh, please come and help us. Then all the incarnations that are coming in the universe are coming from this Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So we are understanding the details. See, Krishna, he's the original personality of Godhead. Then how Krishna expands into this Purushas, Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and what is their function. And Paramatma, Krishna is saying, I'm the Paramatma in the heart. So this Paramatma is expansion of Krishna, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu.
Therefore, the conclusion is that Purusha Avatara is manifested in 3 features. First, the Karanodakshaya, who creates aggregate material ingredients in the Mahat Tattva. Second, the Garbhodakshaya, who enters in each and every universe. And third is Kshirodakshaya, Vishnu, who is the Paramatma of every material object, organic or inorganic. One who knows these planetary features of personality of Godhead knows Godhead properly, and thus the knower becomes freed from the material conditions of birth, death, and old age and disease, as it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita.
So understanding the position of Krishna as the Supreme Lord. This is what we are trying to do. Understand how great is Krishna, how great is God, how he's creating this universe. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yoveti tattvataha. Understand me in truth. And by understanding me in truth, we can get liberation. We can go to the spiritual world. No more birth and death. So these plenary features, these are plenary features of Krishna, the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, or he's also called Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So Karanodakshaya Vishnu, he's creating the entire material elements. He's putting the Mahatattva. And then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he's entering into every universe. He's creating Lord Brahma. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands further as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu enters into heart of every living entity and in every atom of the universe. He's the Paramatma. So all these are plenary expansions of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is how the material creation is happening.
In this shloka, the subject matter of Mahavishnu is summarized. The Mahavishnu lies down in some part of the spiritual sky by his own free will. Thus he lies on the ocean of Karana, from where he glances over his material nature, and Mahatattva is at once created. Thus, electrified by the power of the Lord, the material nature at once creates innumerable universes. just as in due course a tree decorates itself with innumerable grow fruits. The seed of the tree is sown by the cultivator, and the tree or creeper in due course becomes manifested with so many fruits. Nothing can take place without a cause. The Karana ocean is therefore called the casual ocean. Karana means casual. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. The description of atheists is given in the Bhagavad Gita. The atheist does not believe in creator, but he cannot give a good theory to explain the creation. Material nature has no power to create without the power of the Purusha, just as a Prakriti or woman cannot produce a child without the connection of a Purusha or man. The Purusha impregnates and the Prakriti delivers. We should not expect milk from the fleshy bags on the neck of a god, although they look like breast-clip nipples. Similarly, we should not accept any creative power from the material ingredients. We must believe in power of the Purusha, who impregnates Prakriti or nature, because the Lord wished to lie down in meditation. The material energy created innumerable universes at once. In each of them, the Lord lay down, and thus all the planets and the different paraphernalia were created at once by the will of Lord. The Lord has ultimate potencies, and thus he can
Unlimited.
act.
The
Oh,
Lord
sorry.
has unlimited.
Sorry. The Lord has unlimited potencies, and thus he can act as he likes by perfect planning. Although personally he has nothing to do, no one is greater than or equal to him. That is the verdict of Vedas.
So the creation, we are understanding how the creation happens. Material science gives some other theory, but this is the way, actually, the Vedic knowledge is giving us how creation is actually happening. That Mahavishnu is one of the expansions of Krishna. He lies down in one portion of the spiritual sky, in the Karana ocean, as he desires. It's his desire, by his own free will. And he looks at the material energy, his material energy. We can see here, Prabhupada is saying, this material energy belongs to Krishna. So Mahavishnu, he's looking. When he looks at the material energy, then Mahatattva is created, the agitation happens. So it is by his glance that material energy starts creating the universe, one after another. The modes get agitated, Mahatattva is formed, then false ego, ether, sound, one by one, the elements get created. Prabhupada is giving the example, a woman cannot give birth to a child by herself. She needs the seed from the man. Similarly, material energy, she cannot create by herself. She needs the glance of the Supreme Lord. And it's the glance of the Supreme Lord that has the power. Otherwise, material nature, she is sleeping. But only when Mahavishnu glances, then the creation happens. So she's Prakriti, she's the energy of God. Because someone may think that material nature is independent, that material nature is the cause of the souls. No, we living entities are put here in this universe by Mahavishnu. Material energy cannot give birth to life. Prabhupada is giving the example. Just as, on the goat, there are some nipples on the goat's neck. Now, if one tries to remove milk from them, it's like a useless endeavor because there's no milk there. But just because they look like nipples, one is trying to remove the milk. But, so this is the example that it's useless waste of time. Similarly, this creative power is coming by the glance of Mahavishnu. And at one time, all the species are created, everyone is created at one time by the Lord. All the universes are created at one time. This is what we are understanding, how the creation happens, how Krishna is creating. Because in Bhagavad Gita, he's saying that this material world belongs to him, the spiritual world belongs to him, this material energy is his energy. So we are trying to understand how all these things happen. Yeah? He's saying the Paramatma is that he is pervading the entire universe by a single spark of his splendor. That's the Paramatma. So we are understanding more detailed of what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. So what we have to understand is no one is greater than or equal to Krishna. That is the verdict of the Vedas. All the Vedas are saying no one is equal to or greater than God. Asamordhva. That is the position of God, of Krishna. Is that okay? So we can see that the modern science, they're giving some theory, but actual how the creation has happened is given to us in the scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So if no questions, then we'll go on further. Text 3. Yasya Vayava Samsthane
Yashyavayavashanstane
Yasya avyavasastane
Kalpito Loka Vistaraha
kalpito lokavistara
kalpito lokavistaraha
Tadvai Bhagavato Rupam
tadve
तद्वै
bhagavato
भगवतो
rupam
रूपम्
Vishuddham Sattvam Urjitam
विशुद्धं
vishu
सत्त्वमूर्जितम्
Tvam.
It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha, but he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence per excellence, perfect. The conception of Virat Rupa or Vishwa Rupa of the Supreme Absolute Truth is especially meant for the neophyte who can hardly think of the transcendental form of personality of Godhead. To him, a form means something of his material world, and therefore an opposite conception of the Absolute is necessary in the beginning of concentrate the mind on the power extension of the Lord. As stated above, the Lord extends his potency in the form of the Mahatattva, which includes all material ingredients. The extension of power by the Lord and the Lord himself personally are one in one sense, but at the same time, the Mahatattva is different from the Lord. Therefore, the potency of the Lord and the Lord is simultaneously different and no different. The conception of Virat Rupa, especially for the impersonalist, is thus none different from the eternal form of the Lord. This eternal form of the Lord exists prior to the creation of Mahatattva, and it is stressed here that the eternal form of the Lord is par excellence spiritual or transcendental to the modes of material nature. The very same transcendental form of Lord is manifested by his internal potency, and the formation of his multifarious manifestations in incarnations is always of the same transcendental quality without any touch of the Mahatattva.
So the Lord, we saw how The Lord exists before the creation. He is doing the creation. The material creation is created by the Lord. So his body is not material. Material energy is his, it belongs to him. But his body is spiritual. This is what we have to understand. Even Adi Shankaracharya, he says, Narayano Paravyakta, that Lord Narayan existed before the creation. And this Virat Roop, the universal form, Krishna shows to Arjuna the Virat Roop. We hear in Bhagavad Gita. So this is how in all the universes are placed in the body of Krishna. But the Purusha is different. Huh? The Purusha, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, they are all spiritual. So, because someone may not be able to understand, how God can have a transcendental form. So someone may think that form means material. So, how to begin understanding God is great and God is a form, So one can begin his meditation like that, understanding all the planets are there in the form of the Lord. We are going to hear later in detail how the lower planets are his feet, then the middle planetary systems as the waist and the thighs, then the upper planetary systems are the face of the Virat Roop. So one and different. The material energy belongs to God. She's his energy. So that's why she's called Devi. Krishna says, Devi hi esha gunamai, divine. She's divine because she belongs to Krishna. So it's not that Krishna becomes the material world. No, the material world is his energy. By his material energy, he's creating the material world. So that's how simultaneous, one and different. Yeah. So Mahatattva is created by God. God's body is spiritual, always spiritual. His incarnations who come in the world also, their body is spiritual. There's so many expansions, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Nishingadev, Vaman, Varaha, all their forms are all transcendental, spiritual, not material. Is that okay?
Hare
So
Krishna,
Prabhupada
can you
would,
give
yes.
some example like how potency of Lord and Lord is different and somehow non-different? Like is it is written like is different and same. So how it is
Yeah.
possible?
So it belongs to him. So like that, it's non-different, but it's not him. It's his energy. Like the sun and sunshine. Prabhupada would give the example. When the sunshine is in the room, we say the sun is in the room, right? But it's not really the sun. The sun is separate. But yet, because the sunshine is the energy of the sun, so simultaneous, one and different. So is his energy. That's why sometimes can be called, it's one with him, no? Because it's his power. Like we have the power to raise our hand. We have power to do so much. So it's our power. We are doing it. But yet it's different than us. So simultaneous, one and different. It's his power by which he can do this material creation, the material energy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. The energy and the energetic. It's his power to do the material creation. So it's his. So it's simultaneously one. but different. How? Because it's not him.
So can we say like incarnations are potency of Lord and Lord himself is Lord? So like that. Is there some relation between these two things?
No, incarnations are personal expansions of God. They are
It's
not
not
potency.
potency. Okay,
No,
okay.
it is his own self. He's expanding. Potency means power, right? The energy.
Yes,
But the
potency means energy.
incarnations, yeah, so the incarnations, they are himself. They are coming by his internal potency, by his spiritual energy. But they are Vishnu Tattva, they are God himself in different forms.
Okay.
Just as the material world is created by the material energy, the spiritual forms are created by the spiritual energy.
Okay.
Yeah, his incarnations are created by the spiritual energy. We, the jivas, are created by his marginal energy. Marginal. The souls are created by marginal energy. Okay. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Pashyanti adoru. How does it go, Neha? Can you please help out?
पश्यन्ति अधो रूपमद्रभचक्षुषा
Pashyanti adoru.
Pashyanti ado rupam adprachakshusha.
Prachakshusha.
पश्यन्ति अधोरूपमाद्रभचक्षुषा
Sahasrapad. Yes.
Prashyanti ado rupam adprachakshusha.
Sahasrapado rubujananadbhutam.
सहस्रपादो उरुभुजा आनन अद्भुतम्
Adbhutam.
Sahasramurdha Shravanakshinashikam.
सहस्रमूर्धा श्रवणाक्षिनासिकम्
Shravanakshinashikam.
Sahasramoli Ambara Kundalo Lasat.
सहस्रमौली अम्बरकुण्डल उल्लसात्
So you will read, Neha?
Ratna ji, you can read. I have too
Okay.
much disturbance in the background today. That's why I don't want to read. Sorry.
Okay, okay. How about anybody else, like Deepika or Hare Krishna? Okay, I will continue. Okay, Hare Krishna. Translation. The devotees with their perfect eyes see the transcendental form of Purusha, who has thousands of legs, things, eyes, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body, there are thousands of heads, ears, eyes, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets and glowing earrings and are abundant with garlands. Purport. With our present materialized senses, we cannot perceive anything of the transcendental Lord. Our present senses are to be rectified by the process of devotional service, and then the Lord Himself becomes revealed to us. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the transcendental Lord can be perceived only by pure devotional service. So it is confirmed in the Vedas that only devotional service can lead one to the side of the Lord, and that only devotional service can reveal Him. In the Brahma Samhita, also it is said that the Lord is always visible to the devotees whose eyes have been anointed with the thing of devotional service. So we have to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen him with perfect eyes. smeared with the devotional service. In the material world, also, we do not always see things with our own eyes. We sometimes see through the experience of those who have actually seen or done things. If that is processes, if that is process for experiencing a mundane object, it is more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental. So only with patience and perseverance, what? How can I pronounce? Persever-
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Okay, thank you. Perseverance. Can we realize the transcendental subject matter regarding the absolute truth and his different forms? He is formless to the neophytes, but he is in transcendental form to the expert surveyor.
Hmm. So, how Prabhupada is explaining, if we want to understand
Pilia,
some
par,
material, yes.
pilia.
Hmm. So, if we have to understand something material which we have not seen, for example, there are two friends. One friend has never been to America. The other friend just went to America and come back. So, the friend who went, he will say, America is like this. They speak this language. They eat this food. They have these cars. They have this kind of culture. So the person who didn't go can learn about America from his friend. So it's very applicable in the spiritual sense when we have to understand spiritual matters, because we cannot see spiritual form right now with our material eyes. Our eyes are imperfect. We cannot even see the bacteria which is flying, which is floating all around us. We need suitable lens. We need that microscope with which we can see the bacteria around us. So similarly, then how to understand God? He's spiritual. So we have to hear about him from the devotees who have seen him. And the qualification to see him, those who have love for him, whose eyes are anointed with the salve of love, the ointment of love. Those who have seen the Lord, they love him, so they can tell us about him. So those are the pure devotees. And that is the way to receive transcendental knowledge. That's why we always said, hear the spiritual knowledge in the parampara, in the disciplic succession. Because the pure devotee, he is expert in spiritual matters. He's seen the Lord, so he can tell us about the Lord. And this is the process. So Prabhupada is saying he's formless to the neophytes, but he is in transcendental form to the expert servitor. Someone may think that God has no form, but actually God has spiritual form, transcendental form. And the devotees who have seen him, they explain to us about his form. Like Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is saying Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That Satchidananda Vigraha, that Krishna is the premeable Lord and his body is Satchidananda, spiritual. And he's giving us so much information about the spiritual world, Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita. Going on. Etannanavataranam
Etanana vataranam
एतज्ज्ञानावताराणाम्
nidhanam bijam avyayam
nidhanam
निधानं बीजम्
bijam
अव्ययम्
avyayam
yasyam shamshena srijyante
यस्य
yashyam
अंशेन
shanshen
सृज्यन्ते
srijyante
devatirya
devatiryam naradaya.
देवतिर्यनराधकः नरोदयः।
Translation. This form, the second manifestation of the Purusha, is the source of indestructible incorruptible seed of multifarious incarnations within the universe. From the particles and portions of this form, different living entities like demigods, men, and others are created. Purport. The, the Purusha, after creating innumerable universes in the Mahatattva, entered in each of them as the second Purusha. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, when he saw that within the universe there was only darkness and space, without a resting place, he filled half of the universe with water from his own perspiration and laid himself down on the same water. This water is called Garbhodaka. Then from his navel the stem of lotus flower sprouted, and on the flower petals the birth of Brahma, or the master engineer of universal plan, took place. Brahma became the engineer of the universe, and the Lord himself took charge of the maintenance of the universe as Vishnu. Brahma was generated from the Rajoguna of Prakriti, or the mode of passion in nature, and Vishnu became the Lord of the mode of goodness. Vishnu, being transcendental to the modes, is always aloof from materialistic affection. This has already been explained from Brahma. Here there is Rudra, Shiva, who is in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, all three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are incarnations of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marichi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities within the universe. This Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas in the hymn of Garbhastuti, which begin with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads, etc. The Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Lord of universe, and although he appears to be lying within the universe, he is always transcendental. This also has already been explained. The Vishnu who is plenary portion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is super soul of the universal life, and he is known as maintainer of the universe or Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So three features of the original Purusha are thus understood, and all the incarnations within the universe are emanations from the Shirodakshaya Vishnu.
So we heard that Mahavishnu, he lies down on the Karana ocean. From his body, so many universes are coming. And then he's entering into every universe. And what is he called when he's entering into every universe?
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Yeah, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then what does he rests on?
Garbhodak ocean.
Yeah,
Water,
and
right?
how does yes, water, which is called Garbhodak ocean.
Garbhodaka.
And how does he create it?
Navel.
By his own respiration.
Yes, by his own
Yeah,
perspiration.
perspiration.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he lies down on this and he fills half of the universe with this Garbhodaka ocean. Then what happens? What comes from the navel?
Lotus flower.
Yeah. And then
Birth of Brahma.
yes. Yeah, lotus flower. Then he creates Lord Brahma. Uh, Lord Brahma, what is the mode that he is the controller of? Or he's coming from which mode?
He is like planner, we can say, mode of passion.
Yeah. Yeah, mode of passion. So he's the planner, you know? mode of passion doing he's the engineer of the universe. Okay. Then who is in charge of the mode of goodness?
Vishnu.
Yes. But we have to understand that Vishnu can never be controlled by this mode of goodness, because this is material mode, whereas Vishnu is transcendental to all the modes. That is important point to understand, because someone may say that as Brahma is created from Rajogun, so Vishnu is created from mode of goodness. No, Vishnu is always spiritual. He's not created from mode of material goodness. He's the controller of all the modes, and he's taking himself the charge of mode of goodness, but he himself is not created from goodness. Okay, so now Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he created Brahma, right? And he is, so now Brahma, we are going to hear later how Brahma creates Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is in charge of mode of ignorance. So Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, they're all coming from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Brahma, we know. This Vishnu here, which is mentioned, is the Paramatma Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. They're all coming from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Brahma also creates the Prajapatis, Daksha, Marichi, Manu, so they're all coming from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. We can say like that. Okay, so this is how Garbhodakshay Vishnu is being glorified in the hymns of Garbhastuti. Okay, so, but although Lord Vishnu is inside the universe, it doesn't mean that his body is material. His body is spiritual. We cannot think, oh, because I have material body, I'm in the universe. I am a material body, so God's body is also material. No. Prabhupada would explain, the prisoner, when he is put in prison, he is wearing prison uniform. He is subject to laws of prison. But when the king enters the prison, he does not have to wear prison uniform. He comes and goes as he wants. He's not subject. So there's a difference between us and the Supreme Lord. Now, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he expands further. What's the name of his expansion then?
Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Yes, Shirodakshay Vishnu. And what does he do? Shirodakshay Vishnu?
He's the Paramatma, the maintainer of the universe.
Yes,
he's the
he's the
Paramatma.
Yes, he's the Paramatma. He's the maintainer of the universe. That's right. And all the incarnations within the universe are coming from this Shirodakshay Vishnu. Lord Nishingadev, Vamandev, Varahadev, whenever there is a need for any incarnation, they're coming from this Shirodakshay Vishnu. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Actually, Chir means ocean, right? So we saw the picture of Vishnu Bhagwan, like he lay on the ocean every time. So is it related like Chirodaksha Vishnu? It means something he is in Chir, Sagar, or ocean, like that.
Yes, Shir means milk, no? So he's on the ocean of milk. Within the universe. Inside the universe, there is an ocean of milk, Shweta Dweep. On Shweta Dweep, then
Shweta.
Lord Vishnu resides there in this ocean of milk. It's within the universe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In different millennia, there are different incarnations, and they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Mastya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, and many others. These incarnations are called Leela incarnations. Then there are qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva or Rudra, who take charge of different modes of material nature.
So the Leela avatars and Guna avatar. So who are the Guna avatar? Qualitative incarnation?
Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Yeah, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, or Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Yeah, but yeah, we have to understand Lord Vishnu is always transcendental. He's not controlled by the modes. He is the controller of the modes.
Lord Vishnu is none different from the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is in the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities, or jivas. Brahma is always a jiva tattva, the highest pious living being, or greatest devotee of the Lord is empowered with the potency of Lord for creation, and he is called Brahma. His power is like the power of the sun, reflected in valuable stones and jewels. When there is no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes a Brahma and takes charge of the post.
So we are understanding the position of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So Lord Vishnu, he is an expansion of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So he's the same. He's God himself in a different form. Now, what about Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is not Vishnu, but he's not an ordinary living entity either. He's in a tattva by himself. He's not Vishnu tattva, he's not in the category of Lord Vishnu, but he's not a ordinary living soul, individual living soul. He's in between. So Brahma is an individual soul, Jivatma. He's a Jiva Tattva. So any living entity who's very qualified, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, then Krishna chooses him to become Brahma and he gives him this creative energy, this creative power to do the creation. So sometimes there may not be any suitable living entity to occupy the post of Brahma. In that case, Krishna himself becomes Brahma. But mostly Brahma is also a jiva, an individual living soul, but very qualified, so that's how he's been chosen. Like somebody is chosen to be the president of a country, like that. So Krishna chooses someone who's qualified, or it may be a pure devotee of the Lord. And if nobody suitable is there, Krishna himself expands, takes the position of Brahma. He himself becomes Brahma.
Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He is the plenary portion of the Lord. But because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he is not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in the place of milk.
So Lord Shiva's position is, he is his own category. He's not Vishnu, but he's not ordinary living entity either. Like Lord Brahma, then Lord Indra, Chandra, all these are living entities, ordinary living entities. Of course, very qualified. That's why they can become demigods. But they are jivas. But Lord Shiva is not jiva. He's an expansion of Vishnu, but he's not Vishnu Tattva either. So how we can understand? Lord Brahma explains this, that yogurt is coming from milk. Yogurt, where there is milk, we add some acid, citric acid to it, it becomes yogurt. So, but once it's become yogurt, it cannot become milk again. Right? It's just, I'm sorry, yeah, it's just yogurt then. So Lord Shiva, although he's an expansion of Lord Vishnu, but he's no more Vishnu Tattva. Because he comes in touch with the material energy, he's a category by himself. He has his own Tattva. Okay.
The next incarnations are the Manus, within 1 day's duration of the life of Brahma, which is calculated by our solar year as, oh my God,
4,300,000.
okay, 4,300,000 and into 1,000 years. There are 14 Manus. Therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma and 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age, and therefore there are 5,040 into 100 or
504,000.
4,000, yes, 504,000 Manus in the duration of Brahma's life. There are innumerable universes with one Brahma in each of them, and all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of the Purusha. Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the Purusha. Why is it? It's too much.
Too much, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So the universes are there till the time Mahavishnu is breathing out. The creation is there till the time Mahavishnu is breathing out. When he's breathing in, when he's inhaling, all the universes are again going into his body. So when the universe is there, is being created, Lord Brahma is there. In 1 day of Brahma come 14 Manus. 14 Manus in 1 day of Brahma. And so we are trying to understand. There are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma, 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. And Brahma lives for 100 of his years, so there are 504,000 Manus in the life of Brahma. So Brahma, he's creating the Manu. No? Manu is his son. But Brahma's life is longer. In his 1 day, 12 hours, 14 Manus come and go. In his 1 month, 420 Manus come and go. In his 1 year, 5,040 Manus come and go. And in his full life, 504,000 Manus. So they're all coming. They're all there when Lord Vishnu is breathing out. But when he breathes in, everything goes in his body.
The Manus who are prominent within the universe are as follows. Yajna as Swambhu Manu, Vibhu as Sharvashisha Manu, Satyasena as Uttama Manu, Hari as Tamasa Manu, Vaikuntha as Ravata Manu, Achita as Chakshusha Manu, Vamana as Vashwata Manu. The present is under the Vashta Manu. Sharva Bhauma as Sharvani Manu. And Rashbha as Daksha Sharvani Manu. Vivakshena as Brahma Shaurani Manu. And Dharma Shetu as Dharma Shaurani Manu. Shuddhama as Rudra Shwarni Manu, and Yogeshwara as Deva Shwarni Manu, and Bradbhanu as Indra Shwarni Manu. These are the names of one set of 14 Manus, covering, this is too big,
What is it now?
4
4
billion,
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 300 million.
300 million, yeah, solar
Yeah.
years as described above. Oh my God.
This is 14 Manus. This is one day of Brahma. 12 hours of Brahma is our 4,300,000 years. Right? These are names of one set of Manus covering. Yeah. All right. So these are the Manus. And we can see that the Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, these are post, right? Vaivasta Manu. This present age is Vaivasta Manu. Krishna says to Arjuna, I gave this knowledge to the sun god Vivaswan. He gave it to sun god Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave it to his son Manu. So this is this Vaivasta Manu. Vaivasta Manu gave it to his son Ikshvaku. That's how the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita came in the human society. So let's see how many.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 3 more. Time is up. You'll want to read quickly? Or you want to wait for tomorrow?
Oh, I can read. We'll finish it.
Okay.
Then there are the Yuga-Vastras or incarnations of the millennia. The yugas
Yuga
are known
Avatar.
as
Yuga Avatar.
Yuga-Avatars. Okay. Yuga-Avatars or incarnations of the millennia. The yugas are known as Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The incarnations of each yuga are of different color. The colors are white, red, black, and yellow. In the Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna in black color appeared, and in the Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya in yellow color appeared.
So the incarnations of every age and their color, right? And the incarnation for Kali Yuga, yellow, is Lord Chaitanya.
So all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. There is no scope for an impostor to become an incarnation, for the incarnation must be mentioned in the Shastras. An incarnation does not declare himself to be an incarnation of the Lord, but great sages agree by the symptoms mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The features of the incarnation and the particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scriptures.
So the incarnation of God, whenever God comes himself or his incarnation comes, is all mentioned in the revealed scriptures, in the Vedas. Which incarnation is going to come, what he's going to look like, what his activity is going to be. All his features are there. And the expert devotees, they can understand that this is an incarnation. So, because anyone can declare themselves as incarnation of God, but how to check if it's really incarnation? We have to approach the scriptures, the expert devotees, and they understand.
Apart from
The
the
scriptures.
direct incarnations, there are innumerable empowered incarnations. They are also mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations, but when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhutis. Directly empowered incarnations are the Kumaras, Narada, Prithu, Sesha, Ananta, etc. As far as vibhutis are concerned, they are very explicitly described in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vibhuti Yoga chapter. And for all these different types of incarnations, the fountainhead is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
So all the incarnations are coming from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu because he is creating Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and of course then from Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, all everyone is coming, all the incarnations are coming. When is said empowered incarnations, directly empowered, these are called Shaktiyavesh. Shaktiyavesh avatar, like Narad Muni is a Shaktiyavesh avatar. He's empowered by the potency of God. He's not Vishnu Tattva, he's empowered. Four Kumaras, they are not Vishnu Tattva, but they are empowered by the Lord. That's why they are called Shaktiyavesh avatar. Prithu Maharaj, they're empowered by the potency of the Lord. So these are called directly powered, and indirectly powered. Srila Prabhupada is saying the vibhutis which are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, they're indirectly empowered. Like how Krishna is saying of the immovable, I'm Himalayas, of the mountains, I'm Meru. So indirectly empowered. They just represent. Yeah, they represent a power of Krishna, not that they become Krishna. So we can see how many incarnations are there. And all the incarnations should be mentioned in the revealed scriptures. No one can declare that they are an incarnation. They have to be mentioned unless it's mentioned in the scriptures. And an incarnation usually never declares that he is an incarnation. He doesn't declare himself, oh, I'm incarnation. No. But the scriptures are mentioning that these personalities are the incarnations. So we'll stop here for today.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for listening and joining. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.